Hello, I'm here again. Um, Today we are going to treat the internet. So, have you ever wondered what happens when you bring your phone and then you type www.google.com and you press enter and then it fetches a web page and then load for you and then you can see it with your phone or with a computer? What actually happens? Hi, my name is Casey. This is Coding with Casey, where I teach you programming, coding, starting from the scratch. Try to make it simple and very understandable. Follow me if you actually want to learn with me. Okay, so the internet. Sometimes we ask, where is the internet? And some people think that internet is in the sky or in the space, something like that. Now, today I'm going to break it down and tell you actually what happens and where the internet lives. Actually, the internet lives within us. The internet is just a connection of computers, and I will tell you. The word internet can say to be interconnection of networks. So, and then we take the inter from here, take the net from network, and then we have internet. So, networks, we go to now. So, let's say that there is a computer in the UK, some computers, and please let me represent this. It represents a computer with this. I'm not good at drawing. Yeah, so then you can even use this too. Okay, so now we have different computers, and then these computers are connected together. So the question is, why do I have to connect these computers together? Why I want to connect them together is that I want that this computer can actually see information in this computer, request for it and load it here and display it, probably a web page, right? So there is this web page, google.com is somewhere, and then I want to see it in my own computer. I make a request and get it from that computer. Why that is possible is because those two computers are connected together. And yeah, so this is a network somewhere. So that is interconnection of computers. And then there is another network somewhere, probably in Asia, connected. Another one somewhere, and again now these networks in different parts of the world, I want to connect all of them, and in that case it becomes a global interconnection of different networks for the purpose of information sharing, and that is the definition of the internet. So if somebody asks you, where is the internet? Yes, we can see now that the internet is living with us. It is just stationed in some positions on Earth, not in the mass, not anywhere in the space, but within us on Earth. So the only thing is that they are interconnected and information is being passed from one computer to the other. And that is the interconnection of networks globally. That's the internet. So what happens when you actually type www.google.com in the internet? Yes, we have what we call clients. Client or clients. A client computer is the computer that is requesting for information from another computer. You're the client computer. Then we have the server. The server is the computer that is actually dishing out information to another computer that requested. So the computer that serves information from it is the server, and the one that is receiving, that actually initiated the request, is the client. Okay, so now this client has the browser, or sometimes we say that the browser can still be the internet, the client, sorry. So now the client types www.google.com and hits enter. When you do that, what is happening in the internet is that every computer or every device that is working in this interconnection is denoted or labeled with what we call the IP address. Internet Protocol address, IP address. So everyone has IP address. So once you're in a network, so the network should assign you an IP address. And these IP address are numeric values. They are numbers, right? Let's say something, 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 numbers. Even though I'm going to tell you we have internet IPv version 4 and version 6, but I don't want to bother you with all that. I just want you to get the basics. So these numbers, however it is, are assigned, and before you can actually request information from any computer in the network, you must know the address. That is what the network used to route your request to that particular computer and then get information. And when you're routing, when you're requesting, you also send your own IP address, so that when it gets to that computer, the server that is going to give you the information, it should use your own IP address to route it back to you, and then it displays a computer. So now, this IP address, you can think of it, how can I know the IP addresses of millions of computers, or let's say even tens of them? It's difficult. So because of that, then we use something like www.google.com to represent a computer somewhere. That's what it means. This is just like an IP address, but it's not IP address. Yeah, it's domain name. So now there is a node or something built that we call the DNS, the domain name server. What it does is that it's like a phone book where you have this person's name, Stanley. The number is this plus 234 in that way. Another person's name is plus this, that. So that if you want to call someone, you don't have to memorize the number. You know the name already. When you type the name and call the person, it sends the number instead. So the same thing happens in DNS. So what it does is that it has bookmarked all these IP addresses and giving them something like this. That is why somebody can say, visit me at www.kc.com, something like that. Visit me at www.henry.net. So what happens is that when you go to the computer, your client, and you type www.google.com and you hit the enter key, the first thing it goes to your internet service provider. So that is let's say you can have something like Airtel, which is your internet service provider. When you hit it, it goes there, and when it goes there, it actually routes your request to this DNS. So we have the router here. So the client takes it to the router, and then the router takes it to the DNS, and what it's looking for is the IP address. So when it gets the IP address, it comes back, and then it routes it to that server. Let's say the server is here, Google. Then it requests for that web page that you're looking for. And then it says, okay, I have it. And then it takes it back to the router, and then router back to the client, and then it displays in your computer. So the server now, we have taken it this place. So this is now the server in the network. So this is just the basics. What happens as you are making requests and displaying web pages? This is what is happening in the background. And basically, everything in a computer, they are mostly, in fact, they are all connected with fiber optic cable that is running beneath the ocean, connecting different continents. So what actually happens is that these are the internet backbone. So the internet service providers gives you maybe the mast, right? That maybe if you connect to their network, they can actually subscribe to them. They can actually, when you type with your phone or your computer, so the mast will connect you, and then it takes it to their data center or to their where they have built something, And that place that I built something is connected directly to the fiber optics running on the ground, going to different parts of the world, right? And then just like that, when it gets to that area, because these things cannot go to homes, then you have other gadget masks that are built there that can still pick where it is going to go and deliver it or come back, stuff like that. So that's it. But I don't want to bother you with all those fiber optics and what is happening there and all that. But just know this and you understand the internet. So you need to understand this. Client, server, all these kind of things before we can actually go to the actual coding, and then you will enjoy it. But know the basics. I urge you to still go and read. I know there are some things that I just touched peripherally here, but I think that's all you need for now before we start the coding itself. Thank you. If you like this, and please, if you've not followed me, follow me. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can like, you can comment. If you have a question in all this thing that I've said, please ask. Probably when I was actually teaching this, I might have made a mistake or something. Yeah, when you ask the question, I can answer and clarify things. Yeah, so this is it, and thank you for listening. Bye.